In this video, I'll show you how to customize your WooCommerce checkout page for more conversions. 70% of all customers that reaches your checkout page typically abandon their cart, according to Baymart Institute. So let's do a few simple tweaks to see if we can reduce this. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so typically your WooCommerce checkout will look something like this. As you can see, it's not very visually appealing and it's not very well optimized as well. Okay, so we want to transform our checkout from looking like this, and this is our more optimized checkout experience. So here we've actually enabled automatic account creation. So whenever the customer enters in their email and agrees to your terms and condition, then we can automatically create an account on their behalf. So that just creates a frictionless experience for them to actually create an account, and it gives you a way to follow up with them in the event that they do actually abandon the cart. Okay, here we can customize our checkout fields, so we can add new fields, remove fields, and conditionally display fields as well. Here we've actually broke up our checkout into multiple steps, so you can go with this flow if you want, or you can just remove the steps completely. It's totally up to you. You can have this be a one-page design, or even just create a custom design from scratch. Okay, so if you want to create a similar setup on your WooCommerce store, the first step is to head over to aioviup.com. Go ahead and download the all-in-one checkout plugin for WooCommerce. So with this particular plugin, we'll be able to optimize our checkout experience, edit the fields, add upsells, order bumps, create multi-step checkout, and so much more. So I'll leave a link in the description below. And with that being said, let's head over to our dashboard. Assuming you've downloaded the AIO Checkout, the next step is just to go ahead and upload this. So we'll go plugins, add new. And now we just need to make sure we activate the all-in-one checkout plugin, free and paid. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and optimize our checkout experience. So we'll navigate to AIO Checkout. We'll click create a new checkout. All right. And then here we can modify the form fields so we can streamline our checkout page for our target market. So if you wanted to remove the billing field, for example, we can just click this icon here, and this will completely remove this billing section. For the shipping section, if you didn't need a phone number, again, we can hide this. We can rearrange the fields as well. Okay, and we can also add new fields, so you can add extra information that can feed into your marketing. So for example, you might want the customer's date of birth. Okay, so we'll just quickly add the label here. For the field type, we'll just select date field. Okay, when we navigate over to, so again, we can set this to required as well. We can navigate over to appearance, and then we can make this field half width, a third, or even full width. And then we can make this field display conditionally as well. So that's optional. Okay, so you've got the option to add numerous different field types to your checkout page. In the future as well, we'll be adding a A/B testing feature. So for example, the idea is you can create multiple checkout forms and then you can test them against each other to see which one performs the best. So that's an exciting feature that we're currently working on. Let's say, for example, you wanted to collect additional information from your customers and you just wanted to break up the checkout experience. In that case, we'll just click this plus icon here to turn this into a multi-step checkout. Okay, we can just drag and drop the different sections onto the page. So the shipping section, maybe we want to add it onto section 2. We can just drag and drop it there. Let's create another section actually. Let's move all these fields over to step 2. And then for step 1, all we're going to do, let's add a terms and condition field. The idea is for step 1, will require the customer's email address, because as I said, over 70% of customers abandon their cart. So to combat that, my suggestion is create a multi-step checkout, add just the email field and a terms and conditions field. Within your terms and conditions field, they have to tick to be able to move on to the next step. Have it in there that by them ticking this box, that they give you permission to create an account. So if they do end up leaving the checkout, you've still got their email address, so you can remarket to them and hopefully recapture that sale. Okay. So that's my personal suggestion. So I'm just going to add a checkbox field. This is where we'll add our terms and condition. So I'm just going to click settings here, the settings icon. And then for the label, I'm going to say something like, I agree to the terms and condition. And then where it says terms and condition, here you can just link to your terms and condition. Okay, so I'll leave a link to an article in the description below. And I'll just add this text here as well, so you can just copy and paste it. Okay, you can see this has been hyperlinked, right? I'm going to click over to step 2 because I actually want this email field here. Okay, so I'm going to take this email field and pop it in this section here. And then let's move this back to step 2. Okay, for this section here, it says new section. So we want to change this, and we'll probably just say something like, the wording you choose is totally up to you. You can just remove the heading if you want. For this email field, let's click on where it says email. And what we're going to do is we're going to enable this option where it says enable login/registration. Is when you check this field, well, when the user fills in their address, it will automatically check to see if they've got an account on the system. If they do have an account, then it will show a password field for them to basically log in. And then if they're not registered, it'll create an account for them automatically, okay? And we just need to do one extra step for that automatic account creation. And here where it says login/register action, we want to select this option here. So this is this field label. So basically we'll only create an account for this customer once they agree to the terms and condition, and then they can just move over to the next step, okay? This is why most big sites that you go to, they'll force you to create an account with them. But if I'm honest, I think this method is a lot better, seeing as it's not adding any extra friction for the user, okay? So normally they'll enter in their email address anyway, and they would need to agree to your terms and conditions. And all we're doing is we're just automatically creating an account for them, and we'll send the password over to them as well. All right, so with this out of the way, let's navigate over to design, and we can create a custom design. So I'll link a video on screen now to show you how to create a custom design. But for now, we're just going to use our Shopify inspired checkout design. Just from the few testing we've done, this massively outperforms the default WooCommerce checkout, okay? So I'm just going to go with this particular checkout. And again, for the thank you page, we can go ahead and customize it. Just like before, I'm just going to go ahead and select this particular design, okay? Again, we can customize it, and I'll leave a link on screen to show you how to create a custom thank you page. You will need a pro version for that. Now we'll navigate over to settings. We'll go ahead and enable this, and we'll set it as our global checkout. And then we can just give it a name. It's just for internal purposes. So we can say, all right, and we can change the default place order button. We can say something like complete order. You can just rename it to whatever you want. We can enable Google auto address complete. So again, this will just help speed up the checkout process for your customers, okay? So I'll leave a link on screen showing you how to actually get your API key for this particular feature. So let's hit save changes, and let's view our checkout page. So we can click next, and then we can scroll through the steps. Okay, then we can just go ahead and complete our purchase. All right, so now our order's been received. So one other thing to note is that with this particular plugin is you can actually use it to increase your average order value as well, not just your conversion rate. So you can create various different upsells and order bumps. But I'll leave a link to a playlist with a few different videos showing you how you can make the most of your WooCommerce checkout. Like and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you've got any questions, leave in the comment box below or reach out to support, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.